Well, well, well. I'm not doing well. Well. It's been a minute. Hi. Let's go to Facecam. Sorry, my room is a mess. I mean, it's not any different than how it usually is, but it's a mess anyway. Hi. So, how about that election? Yeah, I don't really know. Erica. Year and a half. Thank you for resubscribing. That is so kind of you. Hold on. I am a little sick. Hey, weirdo from Not Zufty. Hello. It's good to see you both. Yeah, I'm a little sick. Nephrite Dreams. Hello, all. I am stuck in an ad. Send help. Hi, Osha. Erica, hi, Kunk. Hi, Erica. How are you doing? Good to see you. Oh my god. Osh. Osh, please don't crawl under my... He's under the desktop. He can't get out. He's there permanently, I think. Oh, but he figured out something to... He's gonna pull out the cords. He's gonna start pulling out cords, so that's cool. Alright, I'm gonna try not to flash you all. Hey! Hey! Hey, hey! Hey! Osh! Osha, this is really inconvenient. Osha, please. Disconnect. Osha... Get out of there. Retreat. Come on, dude. Cat butt. That's a nice cat. Yeah, this is Osha. He's got a beautiful face, as you can see. Don't look at that. OSHA violation. Exactly. Citric Scribbles, hello. Hello, welcome, Citric. Right now we're trying to get my cat to stop pulling out the cords of my computer. Hey, bud. Hey, bud, we're just gonna lightly pull you. You little shit. Come on, bud. Come on. What the hell? I didn't mean to do that. Hi, bud. Come on. Come on out. Oh, careful. What is he doing? Wouldn't it be funny if your cat doxed you? Yes, it would. Because I'd be mad, but like in the, oh, you kind of a mad. Hi. Ashley the Himbo Kitty. Everyone will be proud of me. I showered for the first time since the incident this morning. Congratulations on showering. It was tough for me too. Being a human when, everything is happening. Ow! You little shit. I'm okay. Ow, fucker. Come on. No. Disband. Discontinue. Now what are you gonna do? I got your arms. That's a nasty cough. Yeah, I've had it for like a week. I'm a little worried. It's just a little throaty. You get over here. Oof. You tiny shit. You can see Aioli over here is just sleeping happily, but the kitten is the troublemaker. Hey, Cheeks. Hi, little Cheeks. Osha is a boy menace. He is, unfortunately, everything about like a toddler little boy. What's that sound? Jasper Spears just followed. Hi, Jasper. Thank you for 400. Oh my god. Sorry, 400, wow. Osha, stop flashing the camera. Jasper's first time chat, not to brag or anything. I just want to let everyone know that I got to meet and pet the sweetest old dog in the morning of this trip. Osha, no fighting. Osh. My god, hold on. Hi, bud. Hey, we're over here. Sit down. There you go. See? Not better. I'm sorry. Stay. No, No, hey! Can you just sit here, please? No fighting. Just sit. They're fighting. No, come on, you guys. I'm sick and democracy's dying. It's just not the time. De-escalation. De-escalation. I'm sorry. Some country we live in. Ah! Ooh, I got marked pretty bad there. You still hear them fighting. Sorry. They're trying to entertain their audience. Just, they'll be happy snuggled up 1 second and then immediately just, like, fighting each other, trying to, like, they're siblings. And that's a good because it's like, aw, they're bonded. But they fight like siblings. Oh, I hear yowling. Hey! I'm in the house alone. I'm yelling hey to 2 animals who don't speak English. I think Aeoli is a tortie. She sure is. She's got, what's it called? Tortitude? The like, you know how all orange cats are a little slow and all tortoises have, like, diva personalities? That's for true. My old cat is too old to fight the baby. Yeah, they're like a year apart, I think, so they're both young, but getting Osha really, like, wizened Aeoli up, so now she's the adult. I'd really love to have a calico. A calico would be so sweet. I love how they look. Squishy. Just the colors. Colors don't make something look squishy a lot, but I love it. My tortie has control over all our lives. Sounds like we are in a similar boat. As soon as Aeoli is done being annoyed by Osha, she will get back to demanding everything. The cutest cat I've met is my partner's cat, Envelope. Envelope is so cute. That's such a good pet name. My god. Hey, Kunkin. Hi, Loki. How are you doing? I'm hoping to foster cats someday, then adopt one out of financial stability. Shout out to financial stability. I remember it. Pre-cats. So yeah, good plan. But fostering is very cute, too. Being a little, like, shepherd for kitten homes. I think that's sweet, even if it's temporary. I love that you can truly name a cat anything. Truly. Like, any noun. You could name a cat noun, and that'd be, like, a pretty good name. So sorry. I'm dying, I think. Met a cat named Lunch Meat. Cat named Diet Coke. Meet my cat Adverb. These are good. Harry James Miller, we got royalty. The biggest issue with fostering a cat is that you end up adopting it yourself. Also, hello, Hunkin. Hi, welcome. Yes, if you are a big, sappy, sentimental sap, much like myself, you end up just not wanting to say goodbye to those cats. Cat named Kunkin Dassner. Alright, maybe one bad name. Cat named Corncob. That's good. My cat's name is Simon. Perfect. Perfect name. Diet Pepsi, shout out Addison Ray. Once I was drunk, I cried from a stray cat. It was too cute. Same. God. My dad names all of our cats after motorcycles. See, that's badass. Motorcycles. You know, whatever. Take them or leave them. But cats named after motorcycles? That's good. Harley Davidson? That's the one motorcycle I know? Vespa? My dad named all our dogs after alcohol. Jack Daniels? Vodka Twist? No. I'm working at the library today, and this stream is a very nice and wholesome companion. Thank you, Jasper. I hope to soothe... a library job, though? Or not a library job, working at the library. I was about to say, I applied to be a librarian the other day. But if you're just hanging out, that's cool, too. I should go to a library. I have been in this... The hell is this? I have been in this room since the election. Ooh, yay. Shout out politics. I'd love myself a Moscow Mule. I'm sorry, Moscow Mule? That's not a drink, Duncan. Duncan? Keep the streak up. Did you know you can get a degree in library sciences? Yeah, I was a fool and went after film myself. And then I entered the job market being like, what can I use my film degree for? Uber Eats a Moscow Mule. Oh, I wish. You should totally be a librarian. Easier said than done. That's true, but God, what a dream job. Get to wear a sweater. What am I... No, you don't. What am I talking about? You can wear a sweater and not be a librarian. I'm like 80% sure. I was going to get a degree in library sciences before my... Goosey Wave just subscribed with Prime. Thank you, Goosey Wave. You primed it. You primed everything. Everything was good, and then you even came along and primed it. I'm trying to make that catch on. Yeah, why couldn't more folks have vote? What should I eat? I haven't eaten it today. Well, you should have a breakfast. Breakfast is the most meal. Have fruit. Fruit's good. I'm a fruit boy myself. Based take, Duncan, thanks. Hey, any political question you have, you come to me. Breakfast is the first meal of the day. Only if you're on top of things. Don't text me. TTS didn't read my comedic genius. Comedic genius? Where is it? Where? I'm scrolling. Me if comma won. I know, left. We made the left decision. Ugh. Ugh. America's the problem. No matter how you slice it. Did anyone interfere with the election? I mean, you don't have to be an American to know that the American election, pretty much every time, has had a little, like, poking around in it. It's like, yay, politics. I can't wait to cast my vote that matters. I started drinking tea recently, and now I wonder how G Fuel and Gamer Ups can catch on when tea exists. A gamer tea? T for gamers. That might be misleading. I love how right and left both have other meanings. It's great for puns. That's true. Comedy minefield, I'll say politics, but right and left, you really go nuts with that. I mean, Joe Biden sure tried to. Joseph Biden. Joseph. Ugh, you card, Joseph. You played a big part in it, motherfucker. Just kidding. They let Americans vote, unfortunately. Why'd I put these on? Yeah, big problem. Big problem about the whole voting thing is that people can vote. Trans rights, follow the law. Kamala. Oh my god. Kamala, do you think trans people should exist? I think following the law is good. Revolution when? I'll get around to it. It's on my list. Nerd Kunkin emote. God, yeah. Alright, I'll work on it. I couldn't vote personally, they would not let me. Well, like, even if everything was perfect and you lived in America, you could live right next to a polling booth and something might happen. Interference. Like, what the heck? Yeah, get rid of the Electoral College. Yeah, that's one college I do not want to attend. No, thank you. Kamala the first gamer president. I will say this. Tim Waltz, he streamed on Twitch with AOC. He did that. There's footage. They should let me vote and no one else. Yeah, not Zufty should pick. That's my politics. Revolutions won't happen, and if they do, they will get crushed by the status quo. Yeah. more like the status no. I think people picture like one big revolution, like the Hunger Games, and it's like it's not gonna be that simple. It's gonna be like a long-term thing, if anything. I've discovered that 1, there are Trump fanboys at my school, and 2, those didn't exist when my sister was in school. She's about your age. Yeah, Trump fanboys, that's a new thing. Like, fanboys, specifically. Because politics has always been, you know, all the way down to elementary school. People are like, I'm voting red! And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Fortunately, I did not vote in this election. There weren't any polling stations near me. I don't know, I guess it has something to do with me being Canadian or something. Erica, we were counting on your vote. You should have stuffed ballots like the rest of us. Because everyone knows that it's rigged. The election is rigged unless we lose. And then they rigged it. Somehow me casting a vote for the Democrat in Brooklyn, New York did not change the Electoral College. But the Electoral College... who's in charge of that school? Who's the dean? Who's the dean of the Electoral College? Sorry if my pocket has been typing random shit in the chat, lol. It's probably better commentary than me. Commentary? I fucked up, I'm sorry. It's okay. There'll be another election. Maybe. I'm a one-issue voter and this is it. Secure the northern border. Yeah, I build the wall, sure, but then on the Canadian border, build a bigger wall. Don't let any of those maple syrup... I'm not going to go anywhere. Not going to go anywhere with that. I can't make up a fake Canadian slur. I love how many people said Trump cheated. If anyone cheated, they both probably did, if we're throwing out guesses. But who did it more? Who cheated more? I vote for a wall around America for a contaminant. Yes, like the Simpsons movie. Put a dome over us and then drop a bomb in it. No. Kunk, are you planning on doing a video about the Your Body, My Choice thing? I don't know where that came from. I have been planning to do a video, just a very brief, like, hey, let's point out the obvious and, like, the state of things. Because I don't want to, like, pretend everything's normal. And I know a lot of people are doing the whole, I'm going to make content as usual, because it can be a break for you to, like, it can be a break from all the madness. And it's like, yeah, we deserve breaks from all the madness, but not everyone. Why is everyone, like, I'm playing a game. Here's a video about this TikToker. Yes, but we can still be like, this TikToker did this. Also, America? So I want to, like, say something. The your body, my choice shit is so... that it's just... even if it was not popular, even if it was just, like, the one... like, a few people on Twitter were saying it, it's so gross sounding. Not to, like, give them any amount of power. God damn, the cat cut me up real bad. Not to, like, legitimize them in any way, but, like, what a gross sentence. Yes, the Hitler is good guy said women don't need rights. Who could have seen it coming? I mean, call a spade, right? If he says Hitler's good, we'll probably... I mean, there's a follow-up. Kunkin gets on a watch list stream. Hey, FBI. Just kidding. Hey, CIA. JK. This is satire. I gotta get a passport. Now's the time to do travel. Who knows if we can travel in the next 4 years. And I don't have Twitter. What are you talking about? Oh, Citric. Oh, I wish I were you. Can we switch? Can we trade? Oh. Let me out. Moving to Switzerland when? Sounds like you're switching places. Sounds like you're switching You're switching locations? No. Switching places. Talk to someone there and switch The moment's gone. I'm going to walk into a post office with my passport application. They're going to clock me immediately. 1 passport, please, for fleeing. That's what I would do. Hiya, yo. Uh-oh. The battleground has made its way back. Hey, you guys. Hey. Hey. Such a divisive country. So much fighting, so much infighting. When are we going to get to outfighting? Like, just do it over there. Just kidding. My brother flew to California this week from Canada like an insane person. This week? Wow. I mean, ticket sales would be pretty cheap because no one's doing that. Easelcat. Hi, y'all. Wild times, am I right? Easelcat, yes! Sorry, I was just very relatable. You can just delete Twitter right now. We live in the same place, but I don't think you go back to high school. Yeah. I'm keeping my Twitter just on the off chance that, like, Elon Musk dies or, like, has a heart attack through that metal chest of his, or, you know, like, he just gets deported, or Mark Cuban buys Twitter or whatever. Because if it comes back, that'd be ideal. I was there first. What's Elon doing there? Whatever. I think we're already out fighting. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. I removed Twitter and threads from my phone just so I don't have to look at it or mindlessly click on it. That's the healthy choice. That is the healthy decision. What the hell is this? I got, like, berries and cream hair. You can just reinstall it once he dies. Oh my god, I hope it becomes the #1 downloaded app when that happens. If that happens. Not on my... It won't, but we could try to attack his heart if we were a bit more successful. The recent Republican anti-Trump attempts, and that's crossing a line. Hi, watch list. Just so you know, we're all actors. This is satire. We're on your side, whatever side that is. I'm concerned all these weirdo billionaires want to move to New Zealand and build bunkers here, GTFO. Well, you already have a bunch of bunkers built by, like, all those hobbits, right? Just houses, like, in the hills. Like, that's... What are they preparing for? I have Tumblr. No YouTubers on this site. It's lonely. I have a Tumblr, but it's anonymous. I only bring this up to say that there are some YouTubers there. We walk amongst you. I walk amongst you. Tried to get into Twitter multiple years ago and they suspended my account like instantly, and I haven't heard back from them since. Thank God. Honestly, it's a mercy. If Twitter's like, no thanks, then they're doing you a favor. Twitter. Finding you. Good luck. I got it because I used to have a Tumblr in like high school and then I got rid of it because I felt like I outgrew it. I made another one that was anonymous. And there's like some people, and I was like, hey, wait, I wonder if anyone on Tumblr is talking about me. So I looked up my name. yeah, some people are talking about me. One person was like, hey, he got this thing wrong, and I hate him now. And I was like, I love you, Tumblr. I liked it. Of course I did. Imagine his anonymous account is just Kunkin Dassner. Looking up your own name on social media is so funny. It is, because you're like, what am I doing? I'm such a diva. And then I do it, and I'm like, what the fuck? People are talking about me. First time chat from Olivia. I had to delete Twitter like a year ago because I kept putting white supremacists on my For You tab. Yes, that is a very good reason to get rid of it. That is the good reason. Citric, I am one of the 5 people in the Kunkin tag. I'll find you. There's a Kunkin tag? What does that mean? What do you mean tag? I'm more of a hide-and-seek man myself. Oh boy. Kunkin is on my watch list. I should be also on your subscribe list. Sorry. In the brief moment I had Twitter, I watched a bunch of YouTubers harass Anita Sarkeesian live. I know some of them are still not canceled. God. Gamergate. I'd like to apologize to Anita. I didn't do anything, but she shouldn't have had to go through any of that. Hashtag Kunkin, am I right? Hashtag Kunk up. People who've made posts with hashtag Kunkin. Oh. Is it hashtag Kunkin or hashtag Kunkin Dassner? Because Kunkin Dassner is annoying. I don't know why I did that. But Kunkin? Punchy. Brief. Succinct. So is anybody getting organized IRL? I think it's good to like set up a network in case you... Because I know I've said in my videos like, find a community. But like a community can be 3 people as long as they are like well connected and willing to look out for each other. So, like, I don't know, maybe strengthen bonds just to start. Kunkin Dassner mostly. There's fan art. Fan art? Oh, I gotta go check that out. That's sweet. The fact that anyone with, like, artistic talent is like, yeah, I'll draw this guy. It's like, you could have drew anything. Thank you. Thank you. Like, putting time into drawing my doofy-ass face just because I made a doofy-ass video on the doofy-ass internet. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Thanks, guys. They didn't mention artistic talent, just fan art. All fan art is talented. Just kidding. That's true. We kid, because they can draw you, like... getting hit by a bus. They could draw me like getting drawn and quartered. Drawn and quartered! Hey Kunkin, what are we going to do later this stream? Good question. I wanted to try out web fishing. I've heard good things. It's like a cute little fishing game. Do we want? Do we want to try? I'm hearing yes. No one responded fast enough. Now, where's the thing? Where's the thing? Hello? Dad? Looks promising. Oh, it's a server game. Server? I hardly know. MILF, man, I love fishing. DILF, damn, I love fishing. 18 plus? What? Why? What's 18 plus about this game? Oh, I want to join it, but I don't think I should. I don't think I should. Lobby display name. Oh, no, it's just... let's hide names, just in case. Go to the porn server, Kunkin. Boner server? What? PNW vibes? I'm from the PNW. But it is 18 plus. Maybe that just means adults. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Oh no. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna walk into. Oh, okay. Alright. I think we're fine. It says adult conversations and topics. I think that's fine. Accept. Kunkin, scout. Right click to move camera. Scroll to zoom. Space. Shift. Alright. Why do I look like this? Web fishing with Twitch chat when? This is my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. You could tab to open your backpack. Click the fishing rod. Yeah, I believe this is just... Wow. I believe this is just, like, Animal Crossing fishing? How do I pull it? How do I pull? Oh, I'm just supposed to mash? Oh my god! 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 Ow! Ow! No! I can't even see it. That... Oh my god! That hurt! These fish is gay. Good for them. Good for them. Because it's a rainbow trout. I think you only mash on the lines. That's funny. If I just destroyed my finger for jokes and funnies. Let's try it again. Bip. Alright. And then, okay, 3, 2, 1. Click, 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 click. Oh my god, this is so terrifying. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Kunkin almost died from one fish. Alright, let's not, that's, dying is crazy. Blake plays, hi Kunking, hi Blake. Oh my god! Hi Blake, welcome to web fishing. It's a game where I'm really bad. Click. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please, 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 please. Oh my god, is this what the game is? This can't be what... Caught a tiny rainbow trout. Wait, you're clicking too much. You're slowing it down. I am gonna get this. I'm gonna learn how to fish. Alright, let's just click slowly. Oh my god, no! Oh my god, no! What am I missing? Are any of these signs... Do any of them tell you how to actually fish? I tried to do it slowly. Can you hold down the mouse? Interesting. Let's try it. Bip. I will learn how to fish good. Me fish good. Uh-oh, someone in the chat just said, you know what's fucked up? Well, I don't know what's fucked up. Oh my god, you just hold it. You just hold it. All you have to do is hold it. Absolutely insane. Throwing for content. This is my first time here. Oh my god, though. That's IRL deaths from relaxing fishing game. Oh, I ranked. How do I put away the chat? How do I... Yeah, alright. Some mature topics going on in there. Press B to open your tackle box. What about the quarterback box? No bait. Press E to interact. Oh, $0. Okay. It's a tough economy, you know? Yeah, grab what you can. I can get those back. I can get those back, right? Catch and sell a fish to leave the tutorial. I did that! Exit tutorial. This is fun. I love fishing. What the hell? Why is everyone customized? Why is everyone better than me? I gotta prove to all these guys I'm cool. I gotta be cool like them. Alright, this is pretty cute. Pretty adorable. No fish, though. You'd think there'd be a fish by now. Just saying. You'd think a fish? You'd think. If you're thinking fish, you'd think, right? Gunkin mashing when it says to hold to reel in the bottom right corner. Well, this is different. Whoa! Hold it down. Mash! Hold it down. Mash! Hold it down. Okay. Me not too stupid. Me figure it out. A huge bluegill. Bluegill, what a thrill. Who's out punning me? Oh, look at the hat on Patty. Monster truck? That's a cool name. What? No, don't fish on the ground, idiot. They're all gonna think you're stupid. Paw print point. Oh. Oh, this is cute. So cute. Aw. So cute. Oh, here we are. Cat or a wolf? Let's go cat. Fish in brain. Pattern. I like this one because it looks like I ate like soup, but really messily. And it's just kind of rubbing down on. Oh, primary color. Yellow. Ooh, not yellow. Let's stick with white. Secondary color. Now we're cooking. Now this looks like I just like ate a plate of blueberries with my mouth. Tail? Yeah, I'm thinking I want a tail. That. Face. Let me see them pearly whites, boy. No. Maybe. Why does that kind of look like me? The red looks like blueberry boy. Make OSHA or aioli? That's smart. All right, let's see. This is a aioli. I think if I do that. No, I need black. And then maybe like that. Kinda. Face. Aioli gives me that. That's aioli. Yep, it looks exactly like you. Nose. You need a little whiskers. Mouth. Let's see. Aioli is probably that, but I like this. I don't own any clothes. No title. No title? Whoops. Okay. We've made our character. Now let's fish. My name's Duncan. I'm here to fish. That's so stupid. Thank God this doesn't have voice chat. I would be disturbing the peace of the lake. Why is everyone else catching fish? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Duncan, voice chat is on. Haha, funny joke. Funny joke with the joking. How do I put bait? Nope. Bait. Bait. I'm looking to bait. Sorry. They can hear you. Don't. Why is everyone saying that? Oh, I can't tell. I'm scared though. How do I put bait on my damn hook? Whatever. If it's important, I'll figure it out. Aw, man, they're catching a fish. What'd they get? Oh, I didn't even have time to see. This is some hot BS. I gotta catch a fish. This seems like a very cozy, like, a little like, oh, cute stream in kind of a game, which I would like to have someday, but I think I'm a little too manic when I stream. Little too insane. Who said that? Alright, this bridge is giving me nothing. Let's try somewhere else. Hello, forest. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Give me that fish. Fish? Dad? I could also just play Stardew Valley. Also, I need to eat breakfast. Both of those sound very nice. Do both. Do both. Oh! I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to... I pogged! Sorry. I caught drink... I'm fishing up litter. If there aren't frogs in this pond, I will kill. Yeah. Where's the frickin' frogs? Yield your frogs, pond, or I suffer my wrath. Am I funny, or am I just doing this for no reason? I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a fish. Duncan, it's a 3x4 foot puddle. We don't know how deep it goes. What if it reaches right into the core of the earth? That'd be a lot of fish. Alright, well, I say that, but there really is just, like, no activity happening. Oh! I gotta stop that. I gotta stop, like, freaking out. Is that booze on the other side of the pond? We're about to find out. They got booze. Oh. I caught a salmon. It's all good, man. Drowning confirmed? Booze? You can't fish for booze. You can die, yeah. Isn't that crazy? Whoa! They've got a mortal coil in this game? Whoa! The impermanence of existence in web fishing. Ha! 6? Ah! I can do 6 button mashes as long as it's not 30 like it used to. Whoa! You caught a bowfin. Bowfin Diesen. This really is an 18+ game. That's it's a grown-up joke. I ranked up. Excuse me. Please ignore that. I'm disturbing the peace of the lake. If you die in the game, you die for real. Real! I'm so easily entertained. You make one pun, and I'm like, whoa! I think it all started in the 3rd grade. They're in the water! What the hell is that? Jesus? What? Oh, what? Oh, look how fast they're going. I think that was God. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. You should fall into the water and then wait until someone fishes you out to make connections with others. What are you, my dating life in high school? You just fall into the locker and then a cute girl helps you up and you're like, hey, you want to go to the dance? None of that's true. I'm kidding. None of that's true. Whoa, new creature. You caught a crayfish. Blah, blah, blah. Cray. You cray. Girl, we cray. Alright, let's jump in the water. Alright, no one came to help me. Hacks? That was a hacker? Where? Where'd he go? Teach me. Teach me hacks. A lot of name tags over there. Is there like a party we didn't get invited to? You cannot look in the trash. This is what I'm like when I go to an actual park. I'm like, hacks! Let's jump in the water! We can't go through the trash. I'm just insane. I say crawfish, personally. It might be crawfish. I said crayfish. Did I say cray? That might be embarrassing. I'll keep you updated on if it's embarrassing. I'll figure it out. Oh shit, crayfish. Which region says crayfish? I don't think it's a region. I think I mispronounced it. I don't believe it's a dialect thing. No, the game said crayfish. Is it cray? Is it cray? Crazy. Kunkin lives in a coming-of-age rom-com. No one told me. It's not a very well-written one. Oh, I bought 30 worms. Where are they? Oh my god, the hacker killed me! Did anyone see that? Did I just completely make that up in my mind? Or did anyone else see that? Jesus came and pushed me into the lake. This is bananas. Whoa! Wait, stop fishing. Actually, don't stop fishing. That's a good shot. Legends say the lake is plagued by a Jesus Christ-like figure who runs around bumping boys into the lake. They say if you don't do your homework, you'll be bumped. So make sure to... Wait, what the hell? Look at him! What's Jesus' deal? What a stupid legend. You're just fishing in the sand. Are we sure? Yeah. Yeah, it's sand. No, there's no defending that. Beep beep. Alright, let's go talk to the hacker. Oh, you can sprint. I knew that. Hacker man. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. And then Radoki the lesbian. Oh, John's looking at me. What kind of fishing reel does John have? Are we fishing together? Oh no, he's trying to steal my fish. This fucker's trying to outfish me. What's your game, man? What's your fucking agenda? The lesbian rank. That's a cool title. He's wave dashing. Jesus is wave dashing. Crawfish are most... Holy God! What? Radokami, did you... Crawfish are more common in the southeastern United States, including Louisiana, due to the wet subtropical climate and the name. In the far north/northeast, crayfish is more commonly used, whereas the name crawdads are most commonly used in scattered areas, such as Northern California and Oregon, Kansas, Missouri, Northern Kentucky, and West Virginia, from crawfishcafe.com. Crawfish Cafe? I'm buying the sword. I can't. Gambling? No. Fuck, why'd I do that? I just spent all my money. Well, alright, where is it at least? Here it is. I didn't mean to favorite it. How do I use it though? Yo, they got gambling in the fishing game. I'll return to chat soon at the store. Good luck at the store. What the hell? Did I win? Why did I see stars? Was I knocked out? I don't think I won anything. Is that why I look like that? Well, I can't lose twice in a row, right? You won 50 bones. I did? I don't... Oh my god, what? I made all my money back. I didn't even want to do this. I don't think this is a smart idea. God damn it. Oh, can't lose twice. I said that. Where is it? Oh god, don't do this. Oh, this is such a bad precedent. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, come on, big money. Come on, Vegas rules, baby. The house always wins. I won $100. Luke the Mon just followed. Hi, Luke the Mon. Or Luce the Mon? Luke the Mon? Themin? Luke Themin. I've said your name wrong in all possible ways. My bad. Sorry. Thank you for being here. Hey, chat. Hello, Con. Hello. Good to have you. I know the Wheel of Fortune card hates to see Cunt coming. Gambling is not good. Nobody gamble. It's a real addict. Baby, if gambling is an addiction, This is so bad. This is a fishing game. I should be fishing. But no, I'm gambling. Oh, I thought it would go to my hot bar. Hot to bar. HOTTBA. Come on, Vegas rules, baby. Vegas rules. Give me the... Always bet on the house. Give me the snake eyes. Come on, big eyes, big house, big Vegas rules. Hey, how many did you just buy? It's not how many you buy. It's how many you walk away happy with. I'm like shaking the whole monitor. Well, you know what they say. You lose once. Come on, give me the big fish. Give me the big fish. Alright, this is when the real life lesson gets... turns out, you actually don't win that much when you play the lottery. Almost by design. Because if they were giving out money, it would be at a loss. You can't lose you can't lose twice. And you can't lose 3 times. But can you lose 5? You can. I have no idea how many I have left. I'd like to win at least one more. I'd like to win. Come on. That's pretty good. Alright, back to fishing. Believe me, we will save up and then blow all of our money on gambling. I had to pause. Did Kunk have anything to say about BIP? BIP. BIP. Tell me more. Can I join you? Leave them on. Yeah, I'm on the server. Server? Yeah, let's see. I believe Dentora's dedicated server, 18 plus. You gotta be 18 plus. So, watch out. Come on, big fish. Come on, big fish. Come on, big fish. Are we in limbo? Look out in the void. What's the hidden lore behind web fishing? I have not looked at the screen once, but I'm enjoying your sound effects. Thank you. I try to be an audio-visual streamer. My favorite Tim Burton film, Big Fish. My favorite Tim Burton film is the Big Fish Before Christmas. None of this mania makes it into my videos, by the way. I mean, we can all tell. I can't find it. Do you have the server code? I don't, but I'll find it. Oh, you can visit Steam accounts. Whoa. Parasocial. I'm back from D-Store. Congrats, Loki. How was the store mission? What'd you get? What'd you get me? Sorry. Oh, shit, it's night. What's wrong with me? Well, this is not a good fishing spot. Click escape and then you can do the server code. Show lobby code. Nexus NHE Nihi GZ Knees. Oh. Turns out you can drown in this game. I bought a singular Steam card because I was on the edge about buying this game. I decided this and the fact that it's gambling is enough for me to cop it. I think it's $5? 15? No. 5? 15? 5? Dad? Alright. Come on, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be a fish. There's gotta be a fish. Sweet Lord in heaven, there's got to be one fish. Just one fish. One fish. 5, because that's why I was on edge, because that's low. Cool. Now you can join it and get the server NTHGX. Save me, Mr. Obama. I'm drowning. That's familiar. What is that from? Oh, rain's over. There's not one fish. All I'm asking for is one fish. Hello? Aioli? Sorry, chat. My cats are going loco. Aioli? Are there no fish? There's no fish in the goddamn... Game broke. There's no fish. Yeah, everyone loves a complainer. Everyone loves a complaining streamer. I'm furious. I'm going blind with rage. Kunkin will get progressively mad until he explodes. Ha! Well, haha! Not if there's any fish! Not if there's... Not if there's fish. That's Luke the... Oh, my goodness! Hi, Luke the Mon. Oh, this is awesome. Do you have fish? Do you have fish? You've made an enemy for life. Just kidding. Oh, you look like you're a pro at the game. What the hell? Also, you have clothes on. I'm naked. Do you want to fish at the... There's a void? They got void in this? How do I nod? Nod. You lead the way. Are you sparkling? Damn, I am outclassed here. This is crazy. Hold on. Whoop. Oh, goodness, you're fast. I don't know this map, by the way. I could get very lost. Oh my god, sorry. My intrusive thoughts were like, jump on mushroom. Yep, I'm coming, come on. Enter the hub. Oh goodness. Mushrooms are cool. Agreed. What the hell? Upgrade your rod. Okay. Wait, that's not... Here we are. Lure. Yeah, thank you. I bought a phone. Was I not supposed to do that? Oh, okay. There's a glitch right here. Oh my god, are you gonna take me to the underworld? Look, Ghosty, hi. Hi, look at what? I looked away. I missed the glitch. Forg. I think I missed the glitch. Wait, I see you. Click E. What is this, my... What? A red flag? What is this, my ex? Sorry. Oh, I'm still very sick. Click E here. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. Welcome to the deep web. Oh no. I'm gonna get a virus. Now follow me. Okay. Oh. What? There's people in here. Can we donate channel points to make you drink chamomile tea? I don't have any chamomile. I don't have I don't have cameoses. You can get a glitchy fish here. God is my witness. I want that glitchy fish. How did you get one so quick? Oh, 'cause you're good? 'Cause you're good at the game? 'Cause you're talented? Get deserted. Me and my fish glitches. What the? That's John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt! And Random Comet. Wow, this is a real who's who of Who's in the Void. 60 hours. You are a pro. You are a professional. And I'm a scrub. I am a new boy scrub here. I'm just a new... I'm the new kid on the block. I am the new lame new boy scrub. I've been playing since the game launched. I've been like following the game since it launched. That's cool you were on it day one. Void Gang. What's up, Voiders? I have an avoidance problem. Do I need to put better bait on my how do I fly hook? This hook's looking pretty. They're gonna avoid you if you keep this up. I'm one of the cool kids. Press G. There's a meow button. Now press K. There's a kiss face. I feel like you're showing me the secrets of the universe here. Hold Control, then G. There's a smirk. I just had the idea. You're like, now press FQ, and then I do it, and I lose. I just close the game. Oh my god! Press window left arrow. That would close the game, I believe. Press Alt F4. Press Alt F4 to do a jumping jack. Really? Now press Alt F4. Really? Really? What does it do? Alright, then someone can clip that and it can go viral. Somebody meowing. Am I not good enough to be in the void? I feel like everyone here's got the updated lures. You don't have to be good enough. Well, tell that to my fwickin' dad. Loki, you got it. You got web fishing. But only saltwater, I guess. What the hell? Motherfucker caught the god of the ocean over there. Peeps on Void, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh boy, this is just kind of... It's kind of dark and empty here. Everyone's getting fish but me. Everyone's getting fish but me. Tell me how that's fair, Joe Biden. Sorry. I got a fighter jet. Got another. Wow. This is crazy. Can I have to go? Oh, sorry. Well, thank you for showing me all this. Is that what you said, actually? I don't... I don't know now. If I jump in the water, will everyone think I'm stupid here? When I leave the woods, you can just walk in and follow the real world. Okay. I'm going to try that. Thank you. Thank you for telling me and showing me and being and telling and showing and showing and telling. Well, if that wasn't freaky. The code? Yeah, hold on. Escape. Show lobby code. That's a G, not a 6. Or a 6, not a G. Oh, John Jacob followed me. I don't know what's a G and what's a 6, like a G6. Getting high off a G6. Bow, 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 bow. No. Hello? Oh, we're good. Get your children to play this game. I don't have any legitimate children. I have invalid. I have invalid children. You are valid. Unless you're my kid. Sorry. Get your weirdly patterned children to play this game. I love my kids, even if they're different. Even if they're unpatterned. Whoa! Incineroar! I drive shark bait. That's the cool... Oh my god! That's... Alright. Maybe that's what the... Yeah, nice try, bud. I'm looking at your ass. Maybe that's why the 18 plus chat thing was not good. Nope, nice try. Just looking at your ass, bud. Your cute little pooper's taking up the screen. I can't see your hate speech. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I out-hack you? Did I out-stream snipe hack you? Oh, how about that, Incineroar? Bumped me. Alright, you can keep bumping me. I'm not looking at your message. Uh-oh. Get up. Run. Nope. Not looking. Get out of here. No free promo. No free press. Oh my god, this is a first-person horror game now. Get you and your get your sturpid slurs off my strem. I don't want your Discord link if you're gonna be saying slurs. The hunt of the 4chaner. Help! Help, Pyro! I gotta get some real I gotta get some real distance. Oh my god, there he is. No. Nuh-uh. Nice try. Oh, nope. Nope, no free press. No free promo, no free press. No press, no promo. No photos, no paparazzi. Fuck. Get up. Eat my ass, Incineroar. You look like a crazy person. I'm not the crazy one. Somebody's stream sniping me, putting up a Discord link and talking about slurs. Oh, but I'm the crazy one. This is cute. Nobody look at that. Nobody look at that. Nobody clip. Nobody look at that. Nobody preserve that. Just nobody tell anyone that happened. I didn't play that as best I could have. I don't condone hate speech. I don't condone 4chan. Uh-oh. Nope. Not looking. Idiot. Stupid idiot. I drive. You drive me crazy. Idiot. Stupid. Get out of here. Fucking run. Oh my god, I'm not joining your fucking lame slur Discord. Oh my shit ass. Shit ass. Run. Oh, fucking. I'm trying not to see messages, but it makes me. Oh no, that's him! But it makes me not see this. I can't see the. Nope. Nice try. Nope. No. Nuh-uh. Not happening. Eat my ass. Eat all of it. One bite. You know. Fucking. No. Get out of here. No. It's stupid. So fucking stupid. Go. This is like a horror movie. Yeah, like getting stream sniped in a casual cute fishing game. This would go crazy on game theory if this was like part of the game. The hidden lore behind web fishing. I have to say, this is hilarious. I hope that guy gets hit by a bus though. Yeah, slurs are never funny. Don't say reactionary slurs just to like spook people, but also trying to run away on a stream from something that could get you. No. Fuck you. No. Fuck you. I'm looking at the sand. Idiot. Stupid idiot. Eat my ass. Eat all of it. Eat my ass. You like the flavor? Eat my ass. That's disgusting. Get out of here. Or at least stop using slurs. You can promote your Discord without using words that have like a 100-year history of being stupid and dumb and racist. No, not happening. Idiot, stupid incineroar. No! Damn it, I saw it. Get out of here. Get out of here, you stupid. I shouldn't have joined the 18+ chat. I see that now. I made the error. This is my fault partially. Fucking get out of here, dude. You stupid asshole. Check this out, idiot. Bushes. Whoa! Oh, shit. Nope. Get bushed. Who is this? This better not be one of my chat members. I swear to God, I'll be pissed. I'm going to the void. You can't follow me. In the void. Don't watch the stream. Don't look at how I do this. And X. Haha, idiot. You can't catch me if I'm not there. This sucks, man. Why did it take so long? I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. Cookin, you've done this so many times, so you just refuse to leave the servers. Why should I have to leave? No, you're right. All of you are right. Alright, let's join a new server. Maybe one that's not 18+. Just to be safe. Oh my god. This low-key felt like a nightmare. Yes, but I will rewatch this and laugh. I do think that was kind of funny. Big cum only, small cum stay out? I can't get banned for that, right? I'm going in here. I can't believe people are stream sniping with, like, a Discord. Can you imagine anything sadder? God. That stupid red cat. Yo, join the cum server if you are a big cum. If I... Hello? I was gonna make like a size doesn't matter joke, but did I break the game? There's a hole in the fence. If I go out here, is there like a monster? The hidden lore behind web fishing's scary secret forest. Nope. Case Nicket, still do not understand why that person was chasing you so intensely. I think they must have been looking at streamers playing the game and then stream sniping them. Because they were, like, reacting to what I was saying. Evil. Yeah. I will not be harassed. I'll tell you that much. Who's texting me? Fish. The hidden lore behind webfishing's secret racist 4chan user base. Sorry, I think Loki said 4chan. I just, like, assumed it was true. It's the guy texting you his Discord server. If he did, I would let you know. How can I join? Let's see. Lobby code. Oh, 8. You. No! What the hell? No! That was. Did you see that? Did anyone see? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's him. What the shit? Get the hell out of here, dude. What? AI? That can't be AI. AI is annoying, but it's not this intentionally persistently annoying. What the hell? I don't even want to see what that guy's saying. Nope. Get out of here. I don't know. A player was banned. Wait, was it him? Oh yeah, good. I think it was. Racist people on the internet? Oh, way to spoil the game. Big surprise. The dude using slurs made a bad time. Racism in 2024 is wild. Right, that's such an old-timey thing. Like, imagine if I was like, I'm into prohibition. I'm into sneaking up liquor in the store so the big coppers don't find me. And then you just, like... That's not the same, but... Like, racism is a weakness. It's literally like, I don't like other people because of how they look. And it's like, you are the weakest link. Idiot, stupid idiot, stupid. Just kidding. There's no fish here. There's no goddamn fish. I can emote? Well, not while I'm fishing, probably. Do I get an emote? That's cute. They do it to get a reaction. Okay, I did give them a pretty crazy reaction. Alright, I'm gonna show the lobby code, but I think that guy was banned. So you don't have to worry. Of course, now I'm on edge. This guy's edging. No, it's a bad joke. It's so weird how they say that the progressive people are sensitive while they get mad at two men kissing. Yeah, they're like, oh, you snowflakes, they get too triggered. And then you show them a rainbow flag and they go... And it's like... I say the N-word because it's the only way to get people to pay attention to me. Don't clip that. No, I was making fun. That can be taken out of context. Fuck. I'm not racist. I think racism is stupid. You should have a legitimate reason to hate people without being like, the way you were born. I do think I blew out my throat. Oh my god. The server is not found. The hidden lore behind webfishing's broken server. The hidden lore. But that's just... Go drink water, and then word I don't like saying. Very well. Let me know if there's a fish.
Go drink Beach Boy.
Was there a fish? Did I miss a fish? Loki! Oh my god, hi! Check that out. Hold on, let me reel. We're in the game! Uh-oh. G. Wait, K. K for the kiss face. G. Oh, is this like multiplayer animal? Time for murder. Alright. This one's for you, Loki. You redeemed it. Oh my god. Loki, if you catch a fish before me, I'm gonna be pissed as hell. Just kidding. It's gotta be a fish. There's got to be one fish. What'd you say? I skipped the tutorial. So I don't know how to play. You click to hold down, you cast, don't spam the button when you're reeling in, or else you're in for a real surprise. Neither does Kunkin, it's okay, Loki. Balls. I am a learn by experience. Why is there a red flag there? I am a oh, Loki, holy shit, you got one. I'm new, so I don't know much myself. Are we disturbing the peace of the lake? I got really good at fishing in Stardew Valley. I think I'd crush this game. I think that should be an esport. I think Stardew Valley fishing should absolutely have its own, like... There need to be better... You got a fish! Yay! Can't believe you got a fish before me. There need to be more esports about niche... What's with men and an obsession with in-game fishing? You got me. Red to rights. Lobster? Lobster? I like in-game fishing as well, but why is it so good? Maybe it's like because real fishing always has the element of like, I'm taking an animal out and like just dragging it out of its element and then putting a hook in its mouth, and it's kind of cruel. I'm so sorry. Oh, I really wish I muted that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god! Just out here catching apex predators. Wow. What was I saying? Esports. No. I was talking about something else? What the hell was I talking about? Dad? Sorry. Alright. I'm gonna go find a pond, because this is not working. Loki, I will be at that lake. Jump, 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 hop, jump, 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 hop. Alright, and fish. The hidden fish. Sorry, I don't know why that voice is so fun to do. But that's just a theory. Fish. Oh, look at that! You're brandishing a lobster. Oh, this is such a cute game. You have to, you know, risk the multiplayer aspect of, like, random people. And, you know, hell is other people. Spinning in circles in multiplayer games is so important. Yes. A fellow a fellow culture enjoyer. Oh wow. I've been out here so long. Am I missing something crucial to the game? There's no fish. Nope, sorry. Tackle box. Bait. I need to buy bait. Portable bait station. That's crazy. Bait. Should I sell my guys? Hands you a fish, fishes you a hand. Whoop. Alright, now, with bait, now I'm equipped. I'm gonna catch a lobster of my own. Know they're your friends. Oh! Does that say 11? 8? Oh my god! I'm sick. You can't make a sick... Is that funny? Was that funny at all, or... I caught a large anomaloracus. Anomaloracus? Doing its best. That's sweet. Yeah, a lot of points. Oh, Loki, you got something too. Oh, we crossed our streams. That's not how you say that. Yeah, I know. I did not think I had it right. Loki, you are a fish catching machine. Oh! 1-2. Yeah, if any esports organizations want to recruit this guy. What the hell? I feel like I'm hallucinating. These fish is gay. Good for them. Good for them. Honestly, yeah, good for them. That's the way to do it. A shark in my pond? It's more likely than you think. Crossing streams is what you call pissing together. I've never had like a bro friend who's that kind of bro friend. I've never had like a dude relationship where it's like, oh, let's piss into each other's piss. Truly incredible what the human mind will conceive. What the hell? You just put it in there and you just like immediately got a fish? Something's fucking fishy here. Oh. And 1, 2, 3. Esports really should recruit this guy because he's about to die from coughing at any time. Yeah, I'm a hot commodity. I'm a limited time... What the hell? That's so tiny. I love esports should recruit this guy. Like, just... Like, there's an organization called esports. You sickly little Victorian boy. I've got charcoal lung. Mummy says I haven't 2 winters left. I ranked. No, that was Italy last year. Good memory. Yeah, that was not good. Oh. Nothing like dying in Italy to make you say, that's a more. Size is not even gonna, no. Mm-mm. Good job, Conk. Thank you, Citrus. Oh, catch the fish. I'm gonna reel in this fish. And then we're gonna go over the secret lore. The joke is penis. Another small bluegill? What about average bluegill? I gotta go for a sec, but meet me by the lighthouse once I'm back. You got it! You clearly didn't eat calzone, so the Italian gods struck you down. The Italian gods need to consider those of us with celiac. I couldn't have a calzone. Fucking... Is this stupid? Is this stupid? Yeah. Anyone got any more drink redeems? Here's one on the house. Hey, here's one on the house. I didn't say it. Oh, wow.
Drink, you sick boy.
Whoa. Thank you, Not Zufty. I can always count on you for looking me back. I just paid for the drink on the house. On the house, plus the payment. Having a visceral reaction. I need to give you medicine and a humidifier and plushies and soup so bad you don't even know. That, like, instinct to, like, take care of us, like a wounded animal is taking over. Oh my gosh. Would it be funny if... No, I'm not going to do this. But wouldn't it be funny if, like... You know how some streamers have, like, a throne or, like, an Amazon wish list where you can buy them stuff? What if I only had, like, sick day items? And it's like... Blank just bought you the sleeping cap. And then I wore, like, a little sickly boy sleep... Nathaniel's page, Conkatua dashed on that thing. It gets worse every time. You come up with something insane every time. Hi, Nathaniel. Good to see you. Mod Nate. Can I call you Nate? Mob Nate? Like the mafia? Make a wish list, but it's all just cat ears. Doing like a bit Amazon wish list. That's a really funny idea. Is that a ladder? Is that a log? Is that a mushroom? Oh my goodness, secret area. The hidden pond. Nate is what they call me. Then you are Mod Nate. You have been, but I just wanted to clarify. The hidden bait of webfishing. The hidden bait. The hidden fish. I'm at work and my feet hurt and I need a comically short man, 9 to 14 inches tall, to come stand by the feet and massage them while I work. I'm sorry, you want a foot massage gnome? Is that what I'm reading? Bye-bye till in 10 minutes. Bye, Loki! And we're back. Oh, man. I think that's the end of that sentence. Fucking... I can make this. Oh, I can make this. I'm determined to make... Clip it! Unpaid, don't mind if I do. Feet and cat ears are the only approved topics on the Kunk and Dassner channel. Yeah, stick to the moderation guidelines. Platformer god. Super Mario Odyssey's got nothing on these hops, baby. Check this out. I didn't think I'd make that. Why is there a circle here? This game crazy. I will sell these later. I have $93. That's almost 4 lottery tickets. Nope. Nope, bad example. What about gay sex? It's a hot button issue because the stream keeps saying no. I keep saying yes. The circle spaces are for drawing, I believe. Oh, so fun. 1. I have to go back and look at that, like me mashing. That's so stupid. You hold down. I caught a weed. Why didn't they make that worth 420 points? I want to speak to your manager. I'm a little guy, give me pity. I'm just a little boy. Whoop. I'm looking for somebody to give me some sweet, sweet pity. Don't knock pity, man. I've gotten so far. I've gotten career opportunities. I've gotten friendships. Just make them feel sad for you. That's a joke, but it's a really sad joke, so I'm going to end it. I fell in the lake. I'm feeling the itch to gamble. I feel like you didn't get the energy of my message. Me misreading energy? What? Oh, what? Speed Slurpo? Beer? Water. Big beverage. Shrink soda? Don't mind if I. Chug it. I'm slightly smaller. Do not be mean to me. I'm just a little guy. Oh, there it is. Hey, come on. Hey, you're gonna mess with me? You're gonna mess with a little guy? You're going around to mess with little guy? How little can I get, actually? This is bad. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't spend all your money on the shrinky soda. That would be very stupid. Alright, I think this is as small as you can go. Let's spend one more drink just to make sure. Yep. Alright. Well, now we're teeny. And then just one big wine. And then $1 for water. Nope, I drank another tiny soda. And one for water, that grows you back to size. Well, alright, that was a fun little waste of time. I didn't need to do any of that. They have an insert fish. Insert fish. So you can put fish in here. Or not. Did it say I could open that treasure chest? Wait just a McFwickin' second. What's in here? Cosmetic pan title. Huh? Pan. Like Peter? Kunk, have you ever played Baroni? Do you mean Balatro? Or is there a Barony game? Kunk, 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 Kunk. I'm not sure what pan... Voice speed. It's just customizable Animal Crossing. Now let's say something. Be sure to like and subscribe. Why did a swordfish just like magically pansexual? I can't have stolen valor, so I should not have pansexual. But oh my god, I didn't realize. Oh my god, hold on. Be sure to like and subscribe. Ashbury. What? Oh, wait, that's a fish. That's a whale. Okay, alright. Alright, I've seen enough. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now I'm just one of those assholes who are just like saying you... Yes. Nate said earlier that the circles are used for drawing. We just learned that that is true. And I believe we learned it in the worst way possible. Lagoski, I had like 300 hours in Stardew. Oh, I thought you were bragging. Before I made it to Ginger Island. Ginger Island? Where? An island full of them? Just kidding. Sorry. It's just not funny. Whatever you are, I got you. 5? Piece of cake. Hey, piece of pie. What do we got? It's a frog. I'm sorry, did it just say I completed a free cam mode? Oh, goodbye, Duncan. I'll see you never. I'm out of here. Oh, no. Never mind. What were we talking about? Karen Gillan is the mayor. She would be. I bet Isla Fisher would be second in command, the vice president. I got a quest for frogs. I got a frog, and there's a quest thing. Where's my quest? Where's my quest? Oh my god, okay. You know what the problem with streaming is? Free cam mode. Oh god damn it, I walked right next to the hate symbol again. That one's on me. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm really high energy for these streams, but I'm never high energy ever. So then I crash really bad. I'm like, why the hell am I so tired? Sorry, I'm a millennial. I gotta be on my phone. I'm not a millennial. Why did I say that? Actually, I'm a cusper. Cusper, the friendly... Hello, I'm home. Welcome. Welcome. Good for you, Goosey. You made it. You can hide people's drawing if you check settings. Well, let's take us a look-see. Oh, we're fishing! Oh. That was Oh. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm not gonna say no to that. Gen Z by birth, millennial by choice. That shouldn't be as funny as it is. He clicks so slow. Yeah, just put it in your pocket. A shark! Anyway, is that a shark in your pocket, or are you playing web fishing? For a while, I believed the Kunkin is 33-bit. I mean, good catch, bro. 33? I'm close. I'm getting to my 30s, but I'm not already... I have a youthful spirit. He doesn't look a day over 12. God damn it. Ain't that just the way? You either look like a child or an old man. Every time I go to the settings, I catch a fish. Is that a glitch? The hidden secret to catching fish in web fishing. The hidden secret. Yeah, that is a small seahorse. Where are the sea cows? Sorry. Do you get carded for alcohol? You need to be able to afford alcohol in order to be carded. Sorry. I'm back. Loki's back. You love that voice. I love all voices. Actually, I don't hear color. I love all voices of every size, shape, and sound. Oh! Hello, Loki. Oh my god. Oh my god, no way. No way. You can fish out the lighthouse. Oh, hi, Aeoli. Hi, Meow Meow. Do you want to see? I dressed up as a kid. Hold on, Aeoli. Aeoli, don't talk right now. I know. Father's fishing. Alright, come here, baby. Oh, sweet baby. I know you don't like being held. But it's baby. Hi, baby. Uh-oh. OSHA? Uh-oh. I do not... Lost connect... I don't need to be holding them when they're about to fight. Why did I leave the game? Did you do this? Lost connection to host? Server closed? Blech. Sorry. Hi, Aeoli. Please don't jump. Please don't claw. Kunkin, the type of guy to voice train voice feminization just to do more voices. That's crazy. Kunkin Dassner does not have synesthesia confirmed. Synesthesia? The thing I like most about Kunkin is how fast he regrets everything he says. That's why it takes me so long to make videos. Because I keep writing a script and then I'm like, no, why would you say that? That's not true. None of that's true. I just spent 3 hours on trains. I don't expect sanity. I can't even say trains made me crazy. It's when you hear colors. That's so cool. Why are you sniffing me? You're sniffing me like I'm stinky. No. Oh. A notable generational difference in my family is that my eldest cousin liked the name Logan so much that she named her child it. My older sister has no association with the name Logan. When I hear of Logan, I think of Dead Body in the Woods. My younger cousin is a Logan Paul fan, and I don't know how to tell my aunt and uncle there's mold in the food. Help. Wow. That's a lot. Yeah, how do you be like, I don't want to, like, alarm you, but, like, the cousin's watching, like, this, like... Yeah, younger cousin. My cousin's a Logan Paul fan. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he actually filmed a dead body in this Japanese suicide forest for content. And then later, much later, he's selling a Lunchables knockoff with mold in it with Mr. Beast and KSI. And those are going to be crazy. So let's get into those. Kunkin, you're looking a little thirsty. Never mind, pause my joke. I forgot the price was raised. I raised it just a little because you, Goosey Wave, had me drowning. Osha, if you become a Logan Paul fan, I don't know, I'll be disappointed. I had to tell my mom the Family Channel she was obsessed with abused their kids. I love online. Ugh. That's the worst, when, like, someone you know is just genuinely a fan of something and you're like, you should know this, though. Not to, like, take away this thing you like, but, like, you deserve to know all of it. Man, if only people were good. If only online people were considerate and kind and good and kind and considerate. Carpal tunnel. Alright. I'm probably not going to stream for much longer. So let's play Fortnite. One round of Fortnite. How do I get more than 5 worms? I believe that is the maximum you're allowed to have. I think when you get more than 5 worms, because I remember I clicked it 30 times. One Fortnite. I've been good. One Fortnite for the boy. Oh, Mod Grapes is home. No, that's not Mod Grapes. Aioli? Aioli's breaking something. One last battle bus for Harris. Play until you win. Oh, I don't hate that. Fortnite until I win. You quack me up. You quack me. To honor our fallen girl boss. Kunkin, as a fellow poor person, I'm scared of your laptop being right next to the water. I've had this laptop for 5 years. If it has water on it, honestly, it's almost like freeing me. But you're right. I'll move it. One last battle bus for Harris is driving me crazy. Just one last Fortnite, Mom, I swear. Mom, it's a live game. You can't pause it. Can you pause Fortnite? No, you can't. It's a live service game. Other people are playing. No, Mom, I'll be there in a minute. Fortnite. Had to update the stream so all the cool kids know what I'm gaming. Mom, I can't pause it. Where is it? The game's open. You can probably hear it. Mom, it's a live game. You can't pause it about the 2020 U.S. election vote recount. Oh my god. That's funny. There it is! One Fortnite. Random on. That's so rich. Should we play with other people? Would that be funny? No. Would it? Oh, I can tell it's a mistake, but oh. No. No. Bad. It's never worked out for me. I've never been like, let's do a live service game, and then use the live service, and then it goes well. Sea of Thieves. Webfishing. To be fair, those are the 2 times. Dad? Hi, Aoli. Hi, baby. What did you knock over? Aoli, it's a live game! I can't see the property damage. Hey, baby. Update the category, please. Fortnite. I misspelled that. Aoli's fucking up my chair. Hello. For a sec, I thought that was furry artwork on Kunkin's desktop. No, my furry artwork is safely hidden. Just kidding. How many collabs does Fortnite have so far? Over 30. There's Darth Vader. Peter Family Guy. Hi, baby. Oh shit, where we dropping, boys? This is the... they brought back like an old map for like a anniversary thing, which is bad for me because I have a horrible memory. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. There are 414 collab skins? And I only have 10 of them. I gotta get purchasing. Sorry. This community is my last connection to somewhat normal people. Way to use somewhat. I think the somewhat doing a lot of heavy lifting. Oh. Normal people are overrated. And normal is just a setting on a washing machine. Normal is just a set. Normal is just a setting on a Eminem? Why does Eminem have a Hollywood billboard sign? I feel like that's like election fraud, right? That's bizarre. Is he in the red? I've like walked around this place. I have not gone in yet. But hey, there's always a first time for... Is that a helicopter? Is that an NPC? Mom's spaghetti? This is copyrighted music. This is copyrighted music. No. Our future something majesty upon the something claim. Okay, I think we're good. That was close. I could have gotten Twitch TOS, terms of service. Audio jungle. Oh, there was a helicopter right there. Oh my god, who's shooting me? In Fortnite? Don't make me mad. Have you played Pony Island yet? I haven't. I have not played it. I've been waiting for a good stream to do it. But every stream... I've streamed so little that, like, I always have a planned game. And then I never do. I've been trying to stream for, like, a month. A month. And I haven't done it because, well, like, what? I'm nervous? Grow up. Sorry. I don't even need... When did they patch gun into this game? I know! I thought you got the pickaxe and that was it. Someone coming this way. Alright, not this town. I'm gonna take the bird and touch down right on this here house. That's a person. That's a person right there. I don't have a gun yet. I'm gonna hit him with the helicopter. I don't have me a gun just yet. Am I hitting him? Oh, you messed with the wrong aid. Oh, you think that'll stop me? Okay. I killed a man. Oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, what are we gonna do? Gotta hide the body. 9/11 reference. That was a helicopter and a person. Not a plane in a window. That is not what I meant to say. What are you gonna stream on December's stream? Oh, ha ha ha. There will be more. There will be more streams. I can't be nervous forever, right? I love, not my beautiful modern lakeside home. They hit the north window. Turn on the TV. That's not funny. That's not... Hello? I see you. Oh, you're gonna feel so stupid. You're gonna feel so stupid because I learned how to fight with the copters. Oh, that's actually doing a lot of damage. I killed him! Meme Lord! That makes me the meme lord now. Alright, now just touch, put her down, put her down, put her down nice and... Nope, easy, easy does it, easy does it. Fucking... I have no words. That was just about as Duncan as it gets, baby. He's just like Batman. I don't believe in guns. I believe in copters and Batman. I'm Batboy. Sorry. Now how do I... Uh-oh. There we go. Rest in peace, Bessie. Bessie seems fine, actually. I'm giving you a proper burial. The SS Bessie. Why does that say helicopter? Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, now we have to fight a real helicopter now. What? Hello? Oh my god. Read the room. There's a helicopter. Like, read the room. Alright, where did it go? Lucky Bird had a chance to escape because I was busy with the... Oh, that's a guy. Not while I live, fucker! Check me out! You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Goodbye, fucker. Oh, who's this guy? I can't believe I'm alive. Kunkin is about to lose to someone a quarter his age. Try this quarter's worth. I'm out of fuel. And run. We're gonna use it as cover. That's how a true agent in the field does it. Stink bomb. Whoa, he's still shooting me! What's the fuel efficiency of those cars? I believe they vary. Very bad. What? It's Banana Man! I'm missing every shot. Please don't kill me. Stink bomb, idiot! Oh god, that's the guy. My god. He had a gold weapon, he's hacking! Alright, that one was not great. Dare I say we were doomed from the start, though. Can't end on a loss. Can't end on a loss. Kunkin, there's shiny fish in web fishing. Well, that's awesome. I gotta stream web fishing again. That is a game worth revisiting. Hey, haircut. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I don't know why I said that. Wow, looks like a fun game. Wish I could play Slash was good at it. That's a copyrighted song. It's a copyrighted song. Don't play it. Don't shoot it. 3 and 1 are both in the top 3. Interesting. Thank you, Duchess. Okay. Oh, I have a... Oh, this game is not going to go well. I picked a skin with a puppy backpack. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to focus when I have a puppy backpack? Oh, I'd hate to be that dog right now. It'd be so nauseous. Can't end on a loss. 'Cause we stay winning! 10 kills on the board right now. Oh, let's go. Let's fwicking go. Can you be our puppy boy representation? I don't believe you'd like that. I'm not the most puppy boy you can go. I mean, that's true. You could go more puppy boy. You could get puppy boyer than me. Cat boy? Now we're talking. You want a representative of that community? What if you're a fish girl? That one I'd have to give more thought to. I just caught a shiny guppy. Oh my god, you're a pro. You're a pro at the game already. Don't forget me when you're big and famous. Don't forget who showed you. Don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget when. Don't. What if you're a human guy? He's a frog wench, I think. Frog wench? Frog wench? What if you're a cunt cat? Oh, that's clever. Who is that J-list YouTuber again? J-list. That's good. No coughing. Fortnite challenge. No coughing. If I cough, I lose. I can't tell if it would be dystopian or really funny if there was like a Fortnite channel that just kept coming up with different challenges, and they kept getting more and more like out there, like no blinking challenge. The video ends when I blink, and then it's just like 15 seconds of gameplay, and then like fuck. That's not funny. I just said all of that. That's not funny. None of that's funny. Who does this guy think he is? Telling jokes like that. Who are you? Who are you and what did you do with the real Duncan? Mr. Beast after he gets cancelled. I eat 17 lunchlies, then play one Fortnite game challenge. Excuse me, Mr. Man. I saw you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I saw you, bud. Duel. Duel me. OSHA? Meow. Boy, the aim on that thing is... No. OSHA? Oh, I know exactly what bookshelf he's on. OSHA! Mom, I can't pause it! OSHA, get off the bookshelf! I can't come pick you up from it! It's a live game! Oh my god. So stupid. Oh, hey. Web fishing. Reference. Mr. Beast paid for my battle pass, so I'm legally not allowed to criticize it. Whoa! Sorry. You should build a machine that tases you when you cough. Who do I look like? Michael... Who's the guy that builds the robots? Mark... No. Mark Rober? Mark Michael. What are you, Mark Michael? Mark? Hello, everybody. My name is Markiple. He's gonna get shot because I joined him in his lobby to get back at him. Mark Wahlberg. That's it. Marky Mark. Imagine if I was named Kunky Kunk. Now who's laughing? I heard gunshots. Do I hear combat? Come on, come on, get there in time, get there in time. Oh, my eye. My eye hurts. OSHA? Oh yeah, that'd be nice, huh? That'd be nice. But no, you're fighting me. Oh, I knew a YouTuber that showed off a laser that tases you in your own eye about 5 months before Michael Reeves. Tases you in the eye? I'm an editor. I edit so much. Like, my eyes can't take it. They're fragile as it is. They're like egg yolks, just like, you moved the plate wrong. Kunkin Opener Dassner. Opener? Sixtieth is a bigger number than 31. I didn't even talk about how this is my 60th stream. 60th stream. 60th stream. 60th? Oh, can opener. Can opener. Oh, now it's funny because you explained it to me and I got it. Beforehand, I thought it was not as good because I didn't get the humor. Wasn't the 50th Baldur's Gate? I think it was. God, it took me like 4 months to do 10 streams. That's why content is my middle name. Kunkin. Content? Oh yeah, that's Ice Spice, I think. I don't know much about Ice Spice. I just know one time I reposted on Instagram, I posted a story like a health update with that music in the background. And then people DM'd me to be like, really, Duncan? Ice Spice? And I never followed up because I was scared. So she did something, I'll tell you that much. Wow, yeah, Mr. Commentary. Really, Duncan? Fortnite? Oh, I hated saying that. It sounds like so... Really, Duncan? Twitch? Really, Duncan? Tax fraud? These are good. Aioli? Grown man plays Fortnite and yells at his cat from upstairs. Challenge. Hello? Osha? Aioli? Dad? My bad, that's me eating trash. Who doxed you? I'm getting stream sniped! In real life. I'm just eating mushrooms off the ground. I'm just eating mushrooms off the ground. That's my new single. That's my new Taken. That's my new Taken by 3 wonderful years by this lovely guy. 8 more wonderful years with this crazy bastard. 10 more years till retirement. Happy 4 months with me and the kookiest guy. Do you like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Are you about to tell me that I'm giving Charlie? Because I thought that earlier. I was like, I sound shrill and insane. I love It's Always Sunny. I think it's very stupidly smart. And smartly stupid. It's dumb on purpose. Like me. Except on a... Not likely. Not likely, fucker. Not likely. Not likely, fucker. Here I come. Not likely. Not likely, fucker. Combat! Let's go! Let's go. Chat? Duncan, I've been watching Twin Peaks, and you look like one of the guys on that show. Every time I try to watch that show, I think I'm haunted. Anyway, what guy? Who am I giving? Am I giving Kyle McLaughlin? Am I giving? Am I giving? Oh, I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. Oh, shit. See, I'm not going to use this car, but someone else might. And in a game like Fortnite, it's all about using your wits and your will to survive. Key the car. He's actually haunted. Cats don't make loud banging noises. Oh yeah, like you could still see Aoli and Osha on the chair just like sleeping together all curled up. And I'm like, what the hell was that noise? Osha's on the bookshelf. Harold Smith. This is not a good idea, but I'm going to look him up. Harold Smith, Twin Peaks. I kinda see it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And then plus image, browse, desktop. What's it called? What the hell did I name it? There should be a recent. There should be a recent. Downloads. Nope. Where would it have gone? Files. Programs? No. I saved an image to my desktop. Let's try it again. Let's do click and drag this time. Am I still live in Fortnite? Okay, alright, I see. Open. This guy. Well, now's not good because I've been gaming and my hair is frizzed and I look crazy. Also, this guy looks like he's in better shape than me and like having a better skin day. Kinda. He has better hair. Also better lighting. Oh my god, what? How am I alive? I left the game to go Google search an actor from Twin Peaks. That's how good at Fortnite I am. Harold Smith if he was a nerd. No? I thought he looked like Andy. Andy Dufresne? Andy Dufresne was the coldest son of a gun I ever did know. As soon as he was locked in prison, I said, that white boy's gonna be some problems. I'm sorry. No, no. Bad. Bad Duncan. 10 minutes in the canceled. You look like you could be the son of Andy and Lucy. Andy Kaufman and Lucille Ball? I actually do get Andy Kaufman a lot. Which I don't get because I don't know what he looks like. Oh, I see you. I see you, motherfucker. Bang! One more time. Bang! And maybe a 3 times. Why am I not using the sniper? Oh, I see you. Poke head out. I missed. That's embarrassing. Oh, and now you're shooting me. Oh, and now you're shooting me. You're shooting me now? Poke head out. Stop moving. I can't believe I hit that. Alright, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd he go? I shot him out of existence? I'd like to say I did, but I don't think that's how the game works. I can't stop the stream until I win a game of Fortnite, so I'm gonna chase him down. Be a cold-blooded, ruthless killer. Playing the OG Chapter 2 remix of Fortnite, out now! He didn't go up here, did he? No. I started making a Duncan lookalike meme, but I never finished it. Oh, is it an overwhelmingly sad image? Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... That was aggressively self-deprecating. I'm sorry. I thought I saw someone. Don't you try to twig me! Sorry, I have the black lung. Osha? Hi, baby boy. Baby boy, baby. Hi. Hi, Osha. Alright. He's crawling in a bag. Don't you ever wish you could just, like, say fuck it and go crawl in a bag? My nose is getting stuffed. How many hours do you have in this game? I'm not saying. It's just, it's a fun casual game, right? Like, it's an easy game to just have on while doing something else. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a man in here. Would you? I can't have that many hours in the game because I'm pretty bad at it. That one was luck. That one was purely luck. And no, we're good. We're good. Brother, we're good. Can we make him laugh until he falls over? You can, and I don't advise it. I laugh very easily. And I have shortness of breath disease right now. Remember Corn Kid? It's Colin! Oh, I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop myself from cringing. Gunshots. Nearby. Normally I would run and cover, but... A car? The city needs me. I got hit by a car. Ooh! Oh, hi, Aoi. The cats are checking up on me because they can smell my depression. Cringe-ass streamer moments. I just caught a massive fucking fish. Nice. Contrary to popular belief, you can put hours into something and never improve. Contrary to popular belief. HD Rumble on the new Xbox controller. Out now. Get it in purple, you idiot. Oh, I'm getting like the hair divide thing where it's like, oh, sure, this is a good hairstyle. Sure, why not? That looks approachable and likable. All because of my scalp, my man scalp. Can you turn your vibrator off? I'm trying to watch the stream. Oh my god. Streaming, but you just have a live vibrator on the desk just going crazy. Oh, that's not funny. That's not funny and I shouldn't laugh. Why isn't it funny? That could be funny. I would do it. I can't afford a vibrator in this economy. Why is this guy kind of fresh with it? How do I join him? Now this is how you make friends. He's cheating. Ninja is sending him a secret strategy tips in Morse code. Ninja's too busy with his braless wife. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Hi, Osha. If you don't get that reference, that sounds insane. So Ninja once made a tweet. Back to the game. I have to win in order to leave. You win, you leave challenge. And if you like this video, me getting stupid. Me getting stupider by the minute. Me getting crazy. What? Hello? No. I run to the forest to live with the deer. Can you Still so crazy. I want to do more like stream gimmicks. I want to do more like, if you go back to like my first few streams, I would have like an idea for a joke and then like make a whole stream about it until the joke was dead and then like waste time and then leave. And I miss that. I love bits. I love bits. Take out your... That was not cool. Bits, not joke bits. Joking about your bits. No, jokes concerning bits. Concerning bits. I'm too autistic. Whoa, Loki just...
Taking out my balls because a streamer orders me to.
Oh, goodness God. Just kidding, FBI. Thank you, Locust. Oh, let's cancel him. Lagosty, I'm too autistic for your bits. You're too good of an actor. I'm not a good actor. You are flattering me. Thank you. Also, same. Not same. What did I mean to say? Similar. You know when you like you want to say same to something, but you're like not exactly the same. So it's like, what do you say for that? Mood? Mood. Mood. That's a mood. When the moon hits your eye, that's a mood. Sorry. First time I've ever seen that animation, I think. I don't get a whole lot of bits. The joke. Sorry. I don't want people to spend bits on me. Keep your bits to yourselves. Keep your bits stuffed away. Oh, can one of those hit, please? What? Thank you. Don't you dare! That was scary. Color me scared. Color me white. When you were a kid, when he like tried to draw people, he was like, I'm gonna draw myself, and they're like, here's the peach crayon, and I had to be like, I'm not peach, I'm white, and then that sounds bad. Shut up, Duncan. Stop talking. Challenge. I'm sorry. You're not normal, but I respect it. You could be a great Dracula. I would be a good, like, starter vampire in, like, the first scene of the movie where the main character learns about the existence of vampires. Because that requires me to lose. I need to, like, be like, I want to suck you, and then, like, the blade or whoever kills me, and then the main character is like, whoa, vampires are real? And then I get paid union rates for, like, my first acting credit, and it goes straight to my head, and I buy a car. And then the down payment is too crazy, and I start losing money. And my wife and screaming kids are making my home life just hostile. And so I have to turn to the drink. Where else are you going to turn in times like that? Alright, I'm done. Bit over. You would be a perfect Edward Cullen. Excuse me. As a Twilight fan, I'm offended. I'm not a Twilight fan. I'm a Twilight appreciator. You get too anxious to suck someone's blood out. Yeah, I'd be like, can you look away? Hi, kittens. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, Mickey the Mouse. Haha! I'm not family friendly. Sorry, Osha. God damn it. I'm driving everyone out of my life with these voices. And you'd think, oh, Duncan, you could be a voice actor. No, construction on my block. I'll cast you in my vampire movie. Thank you. Awesome. I have to be the first character who dies. That is the only thing in my clause. Hello? That's the only thing in my Santa clause. I'm leaving for that voice. Bye-bye, good night. Bye, Loki. Sorry. But thank you for being here. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for everything, actually. I'm dying. Mickey's the biggest vampire of all. Haha! Lower your collar! I'm thirsty! You will pay dearly for this! No, what do vampires say? This is the skin of a killer, brother! No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Duncan? Who? I don't think so. Duncan? 35 people left. We could win this. We could win the game. You want to do something funny? You want to do something funny? Hey, all the jokesters out there. Want to do something funny? I'm gonna put a bunch of C4 next to this. Fuck. I just put a bunch of C4 next to this supply package. Fucking let me up. I put a bunch of C4 next to this package, and I'm gonna blow it up as soon as that guy's there. He's alive. Oh my god. What? I thought... What? That was so funny and gimmicky, though. Aunt Becky. Well, now I feel like a dick. I can't believe that worked. Oh my god, you'd be the perfect dead guy sitting with your back to the wall at the start of the game when you have a tutorial on the wall above you painted with blood. Hey, whatever pays the bills. And the Jims and the Teds, those are my accountants. That's not true. I don't have accountants. That was a lie for comedy. The only clause is I want to get paid the least. Only if I'm severely underpaid! Shit. I will only accept these acting credits, sir or madam, if I am undervalued. You would be the perfect guy in a zombie video game that's like, there's no way I'm getting bit, and then a zombie bursts through a wall and immediately kills you. Yeah, I don't even get to be like the guy with like the secret bite who's like, shh, it's nothing, it's fine, I'm fine. Like, I don't even get that far into the movie. I'm the guy that's like, I can't die, and then is just slaughtered. I make a good instant karma character. Because most of my streams are me saying, like, watch this, and then something stupid happening. Most of my life is like that. My life is like a video game. Nope. Alright. 17 people left in the game. 17 players. 17. Rated R, NC-17. Rated R. Don't tell your parents. It'd be You'd be the perfect Twitch streamer. You'd think, but this experiment is not going well. Sorry. I do this for fun. So you'd think I'd have fun. I'm kidding. Can I pick up 2 of these? Oh, I such a... Oh. Well, I can't have someone else get that. So... Well, hold on. Let's try this instead. There we go. And then I'll just take you. And that's how we do this. And if you like this method of getting rid of items in Fortnite, be sure to click like. Be sure to click bell. Don't forget to leave your email in the comments. Don't forget, I need the last 4 digits of your social security number. Don't worry about the rest. And remember. And don't forget. What was I supposed to remember? Did me hallucinate that, or was that a car? I'm nervous. I want to win so badly because I'm tired and I have to turn this off. But I can't turn it off until I win. Till I win a game. Until I win a match. I'm back, I got pizza. Lucky! Sorry. Not on my watch, idiot! Die! Oh my goodness! Oh my god, I'm outmatched! I'm outmatched, I'm outclassed, I'm outgunned! Oh my god, run, run, Spider-Man! Spider-Man, get out of here. Oh, that fucking helicopter. Not if I can help it, Stinky! Uh-oh. He's got a minigun. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Outclassed. I'm giving it one more shot. Hey, what's up? I'm insert douchebag name here. shed. And I know how to survive. Trust me, protagonist. The protagonist, the most masculine man to ever exist, only replies in annoyed grunts. They go on a run for supplies. Zombie Kunkin does something reckless, while the protagonist goes, "You're gonna get us all killed." "I know what I'm doing, old man," immediately dies and puts everyone in danger. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about correcto. Yes. What did we place? Were we in like the top 8? Top 7? Top 2? Oh, that's not a song that we can play. You got like 11th. No! That's not even in the top 12. Top 2 sounds like Hawk Tua. The freshest new meme hitting the streets of virality is Hawk Tua. Imagine this. You're a girl on a street and a guy's interviewing you, and he asks an innuendo-based question. And you decide to take advantage of the sudden platform to make a blowjob joke. Now you're the front-facing comedian of the right-wing movement. Progressives are using it ironically, but right-wingers buy shirts with it. Everything's political, including a mild blowjob joke. Let women speak. Oh, got my ass. You got my ass? Got your ass. This is the worst skit I've ever seen. What, oil spill pumpkin? This voice is like if Bob Belcher were super gay. If... Sorry. We're good, we're fine. Alright. This is my last game. Where should we drop? Where should we drop? And that's that on that, gamers. Gamers. "11-year-old's Roblox avatar." What? No, yeah, you got it. Yeah. That's pretty accurate. But I matched. I gave him the it's about coordinating. It's about color coordinating. I get very happy when I color coordinate my outlook and my out pack in video games. My out bar, my out prog, my out. Am I out? Am I out? Me playing tag. Me and the... Let's see if we can't fish up another sniper. Please. Please. I also have Microsoft Outlook. I have a positive outlook on life. Microsoft? Kunkin, I'm too nervous to stream. Kunkin. Okay, well, like, this is what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about hitting this stage where I start saying embarrassing things because I think it'll make the previous 2 seconds very funny. What the hell? Am I blue? What the hell's happening to my camera? What? That's... I don't know what's happening to my camera. Isn't it awesome when a niche internet micro celebrity whose existence on the internet is dependent on technology just doesn't have a goddamn clue what to do with technology? Your camera heard what you were saying and got offended. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Liberals don't get comedy anymore. Well, if there were ever a time to use this, this is me. What the hell's up here? This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. What is that from? Is that Hannah Montana? Hannah Mountain. Howdy there, I'm Hannah Mountain. And I love lasagna. Sorry. Niche? Check. Internet? Check. Micro? Check. Celebrity X. I'll get there someday. Collect weapons at a base camp. Don't mind if I was gonna collect weapons anyway. Joke's on you. Am I unlovable fundamentally? That's Camp Rock. No way. This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. At Camp Rock, that is. Come on down to Camp Rock Thursdays at 9 on TBS. On TGT. Mondays and Thursdays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Only on Fridays. Why are we singing Camp Rock? Is that really from what it... Is that really... I thought that was Hannah Mountain. Guys, the existential crisis is part of the bit. Yeah, none of this is admissible in court. Boogie Bomb! Anyway, oh, I didn't plan my segue. Now I'm just wasting time like a damn idiot. Check this shit! Yes, it's Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato, more like Diva Lovato. This inspiration started in Camp Rock. I'm really sick. I like when Kunkin doesn't reconnect his webcam, which would most likely fix the issue. Oh, this issue's deep-rooted. I think maybe perhaps this apple's rotten right to the core. No. Hi, OSHA. Kitty. Uh-oh. OSHA, not now. I'm being hunted by the feds. It's still Brat Summer. It's always Brat Summer if you believe in global warming. Oh, OSHA. Hi, bud. I wish I could turn on the camera and show everybody my cat. Not because I want them to see who I'm proud of, but for the views and clips and clips and clips. Imagine if Kunkin did a 12-hour stream. Oh, I'd be dead by hour 5. Meow. Not like real dead, but like energy-wise. He'd just sleep for 10 hours and then do something the other 2. That's assuming I can get to sleep. Well, actually, I can get to sleep. That's no problem. It's the staying asleep. It's the feeling asleep. Holy shit. Unattended helicopter. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Unattended helicopter. Unattended helicopter. Unattended helicopter. Oh, he's... Refill my energy. Refill my energy. I'm out. Got your ride, idiot. Whee! Unfortunately, the Burger King foot lettuce guy is dying of tuberculosis. Yeah, that's me, alright. That's me. You're probably wondering how I got in your house. This is real. Yeah, that's me. Sorry, it's not even... I bet you're wondering how I got here. Have you tried sleeping? Bazinga, I'll be here all week. Have I tried sleeping? No. But honestly, that would help. Hi, OSHA. And you jumped. This is real. This is real. Everything you're... Hello? Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I was finally funny. And my mic goes out? OSHA. 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 Alright guys, I think that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. I love you all so much. And I think... Oh my god, OSHA. And I think, you know what? And I think, and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, and I think I'm thinking that it's time to go. Have a good rest of your day. You did that on purpose. I really didn't. I think OSHA bit the cord. I think this apple's rotten bit to the cord. I think this apple's bitten right to the cord. And all the... This is me. This is real. I think this apple's rotten to the core. Alright, I'm out of here. Bye. Love you. Have a good week. No, not exit. Stop streaming.